Put my AirPods in so I can hear your quality better.
Yeah, man. You ready to do this?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, man. Michael Joseph, how are you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic today. It's 420. Happy 420.
Yeah, man. You're a hard guy to track down. Holy crap.
That's what my friends and family would tell you the same thing right now.
Yeah. And you and I think kind of played phone tag or platform tag or whatever. These days, everybody has a different platform they want to communicate on, and I'm just happy you're willing to do it because I kind of called you out on one of the rooms, said, "Hey, I want you on my podcast." You're like, yeah, let's talk offline." So I was like, "Oh man, I just pissed him off. He's not going to do it."
Oh
And then
no,
a week later, I see you're like,
only
"Yeah,
way to
okay,
do it.
text me." Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the
So
only way
cool.
to
All
do
right.
it in today's world. Yeah, let's do it.
And so here's the thing. Most people that I come across with BitClout or in so many things, it's easy for me to tell like their history, where they're coming from, what their sort of project is, what their, you know, niche is. And you're kind of an enigma. I just I came to the conclusion you're just really super excited about BitClout. And maybe you're that type with everything, but you have such an exuberance and you started the BitClout community. I might be getting on the Clubhouse. And
Yeah.
whenever I've heard you and I really haven't interacted much, but I hear you speak with so much excitement and exuberance. I'm like, okay, this guy is so on board and so excited, and everybody speaks so highly of you. And when you show up in a room, it's like, okay, everybody shut up. Michael's here and he has something to say, or we want to hear what he has to say about this. So walk me through how you developed that sort of reputation.
I mean, basically what happened was it was March 12th at around 10:48 a.m. and I got a text from my buddy Jake saying, "Hey, I need you to get in this Zoom room. I'm hosting a Zoom for my close friends. There's something big coming up in the crypto adjacent space that I think is going to be a real game changer for us, right?" And I'm like, I mean, it's Jake, so okay, cool. I am going to, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be there. I get on. He's like, "Yo, this is crazy. Here's a website." I don't know. Were you there the day of the launch?
No, I was just oblivious, quite frankly.
Okay, so you should have seen this website when we first got to it, right? It's an all black landing page with a big like countdown on it. And on the countdown, you had the clock. Under it, you had something that said buy BitClout. And on the other side, it said white paper, where you can go to the white paper. And underneath that, there was just in big letters, it says, "Do not share this link with anybody." So he walked us through it. We're like, fine, we'll try it. I get on BitClout. 12 o'clock hits. The launch happens. 30 minutes. Everyone's going crazy. And then, boom, the site goes down. And no one knows what happens. Everybody's freaking out. Next thing you know, 30 minutes or around 2 hours later, a message comes up saying that your funds are safe. We'll see you in 3 days. And everyone's like, what the hell is going on?
All right, this is something I knew nothing about.
Oh yeah, it was, and there was a new countdown. So everyone's just like, "Yo, what the hell is happening? I don't know, like, where's my money?" So everyone started going up in smoke and up in flames over that for a bit. So then, they worked out some of the bugs. They worked out, the fact that they really, especially when things like that happen, they need to make sure that they're updating all of us because they had a community of freaked out people. But then after that happened, so first back up. So that day, my good friends Alec and Jake did a room called Elon Musk has his own coin. What WTF is BitClout? Or was it BitClout has arrived? I was a mod on that stage and we had 3,000 people, right?
Really?
For 6 hours. I think Naval was sitting in the audience for 4 or 5 hours himself. Just
Now,
listening.
was this because of the Elon Musk part of the title or because of who was modding? I mean, what brought so many people to it?
I think it was a mixture of both, and it was really like the first actual room on BitClout. So then fast forward, I do a room with this guy Thor, who you, of course, you know, and we do really good together. We just play off of each other's energy. And next thing you know, I started the BitClout community because in a lot of the rooms, and this is nothing against the other rooms. Let me preface with that. Nothing against the other rooms, but I saw, like, especially early on in the beginning, we were getting so caught up in the scam talk, right? People that go, "Oh, BitClout is a scam. It's never going to work, blah, 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 blah." And I was just like, I just want to create a space where we don't talk about the scam. Like, is BitClout a scam? Because I believe in this technology, whether it's BitClout or not, because BitClout is irrelevant. BitClout is either going to be Napster or Spotify. It's either going to implode on the way up or it's going to revolutionize and change everything, right? So, you know, that's just how I felt. So I started a club, and the one rule that I said was, in our rooms, there's no scam talk. We're not talking about scams and stuff like that. And then, you know, people started coming, people started liking it, and then 2 days later, I'm in the room, and out of nowhere, I see, we're in a room, and, you know, I start messaging on BitClout, old friend Mike Posner, and we
So
start
you're
messaging back
messaging him on the platform, the BitClout platform.
on BitClout.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a guy I knew from back in the day, but haven't really connected with him like that. So I just hit up Mike, and I was just like, "Yo, Mike, you should hop on Clubhouse." And he's like, "Bet, let's do it." He hops on Clubhouse, talks about BitClout with us, because I knew Mike was on already and he wasn't verified, and I kept on telling people his coin is undervalued, blah blah blah. He comes on, does an interview, and then his top coin holder was in the room, and Mike says, "Okay, what song do you want to hear?" Which was like the first time for me I saw someone really using the platform like that, and it went like so cool. Mike did a song, and then I was like, "Okay, we may be onto something here." So then I think it was the night after, or 2 nights later, we're sitting there, we're all talking BitClout, when I see Scooter Braun show up in the audience, and I'm like, "Okay, let's see." Like, I don't want to invite Scooter up. I don't want to put him on the spot, being that he was one of the early investors and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, Scooter raises his hand to come up on stage to speak. So Scooter comes up, and the first thing he says is, "I think you guys are smart and onto something early." And, you know, then he just started talking to us, answering questions. Some of them he answered, and understandably, some of them he couldn't or wouldn't answer, understandably. And I mean, from there, it was sort of off to the races. We've had concerts with Posner and InQ, interviews with Blau, Pamela Anderson. Last night was a literal free-for-all, which was unbelievable, with Neil Strauss, where Neil literally wanted to talk to everybody and everything. We have an open mic night with Falsa Music, DOZ, GMF. We have a BitClout shoot your shot room. We've done a meme off. We're just having a lot of fun. My thing is, you know, the first timer rooms are great, and I'm all for continuing to do them, supporting them. But I think that, you know, sooner or later, what we're going to see is people are going to want to start seeing original content. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to put out fun, original things that are focused around BitClout without always doing the same rooms. And I think that, you know, that's what we're seeing with the BitClout community.
Like, when you think of original content, what do you have in mind?
I mean, some of them I'll share, some of them I can't share yet, but I think Cloud Hour is a perfect example of that. Like, we're getting these people that, you know, aren't the normal people coming into our rooms every day. We're getting the Neil Strausses, the Pamela Andersons, the people like that are on BitClout that everybody wants to hear from. They want to know, okay, like, how do you plan on using the platform? Things like that. I'm currently involved with a project, Clout Factor. I'm helping Lauren out
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I was just going to say, that seems like a natural piece of programming right there.
Yeah, and I mean, I have some big things planned with her, which are going to be cool. My thing is, everything's moving so fast right now, and it's about planning your moves out, because you're so early on. Yes, you have more room to play and wiggle and see what sticks, but it's also important to think about what you attach yourself to, because everybody wants to do something right now, and when you attach yourself to something, that's your name.
Yeah, I
And
agree. It's like you
and
can
we're
only
on
do so
BitClout.
much.
No, but
Well, you
not
can only
the
do
other
so
thing.
much and
We're
focus on it.
but even more, like, being that we're on BitClout now, I have to think about my investors, the people that have invested in me, that are, in it to see me win. And by me jumping on every project or everything that I think is exciting or everything that I want to do in BitClout, that gives me a bigger chance to crash and burn. So it's about being
Well,
smart about it, because I want to see me win, and I also want to see all my investors win.
so what if you approach it kind of like a movie studio or,
Interesting. Okay.
Netflix, where investors know they're not just investing in you, you become more of an entity that they know, okay, I'm getting involved in this. This is where I think about securities and worry and wonder about that. But all that set aside, where people can go, okay, I know that when I get involved with Michael's project, he's going to be going and developing content. He's going to liquidate some of what I put in here. It's because I see people talk
Oh,
about, oh, well,
I,
I'm never
I
taking
have
my
no problem
founder's
with that.
route out. Yeah, but
I
people
have
don't
no problem.
understand it.
I have no
And
problem with that. To me, it's. I think what it's more about is what I attach myself to, right? Because a lot of people are moving it very fast right now, and I don't want to promise myself to something that's competing with something else that I'm already doing,
yeah,
or like stuff like that. But the one thing, like, with that being said, that I love is how great the community is. Like, the fact that we have so many different clubs, and that's perfect, because right now I feel like all the different main clubs on Clubhouse for BitClout are all sort of focused on different things, and there's so much room for all of us to win. And it's just like,
yeah,
I love talking. Like, I'll get on the phone with Brian and Ed. I'll get on the phone with Rye. I'll get on the phone with Nick, and we'll talk about, like, how can we support each other. Like, we're so early,
yeah,
and we can all win. So
yeah,
as you can see, I'm committed to winning by
yeah. Bags under the
the
eyes and
circles under my eyes that says that I haven't slept in a minute.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of similarity to the real world, but I think it's like you mentioned, it's the fact that there's so much opportunity, and it's kind of like I have a hard time picking and choosing what looks the most fun and productive. Can't jump into everything, and I sense the same thing where everybody's jumping in bed with everybody else, and I'm old enough to have lived through a few partnerships that have gone wrong, and it's like, okay, we may all be feeling great about each other right now, but a couple of deals go sour, and we start
It's not even about
talking to each
that,
other differently.
because a lot of the people I trust, right? But here's the issue. The issue comes in when, I have ADHD, for example. Surprise. You could probably guess by being in my clubhouse rooms. But I get to have my focus on what I'm focused on. And, I don't want to go 90% on 5 different things. I'd rather go 100% on one thing, right?
Mhm.
Because, or else everything can implode. I want to really secure what I'm working on and master that before I go on to other things. It's just like, you can't help others until you help yourself. And I think that just the cross collaboration with so many amazing creators and so many amazing people on Clubhouse has really been special to me.
Cool. So what do you see the future for this platform being if you could fast forward a year?
Building on top of it.
Layer 2 type stuff
Yeah, I
or
think that,
what?
like, how cool would it be if one day you were on Spotify trying to listen to your favorite artist, and there was a button next to your artist name where you can click on the button, and to listen to your favorite artist movie, you were able to invest $5 into your favorite artist, right? Like, that's technology that could be built on top of the BitClout coin token, right?
Or the
So I think that we're
blockchain.
going to the blockchain, yeah, like, and that could be all integrated in, which I think is fascinating.
So it's like the
I
Ethereum of social.
Yeah, I think that Jake Udell said it best. He said, you know, Bitcoin, decentralized money, and BitClout, decentralized social.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, BitClout, like, and then there's BitClout, the platform that we see right now, and it has some of the most addictive things known to man, or to human being in it. I mean, you're taking cryptocurrency, celebrity culture, money, gambling, memes, and you're
FOMO.
putting all of those into one. And when you put all those into one, I mean, I remember the first 2 weeks, like, I was sleeping an hour a night, waking up every 10 minutes because I thought I had to check my BitClout. Like, it got insane. Like, literally, like, it was just wild. So, we'll see what happens with that.
Did you ever during that time see it take a radical dip and then you had to rally back, or is it just been up to the right?
I'm investing, and I'm building my clout. After I had the room with Scooter, my clout definitely went way up for a bit. Like, for 24 hours, it shot up. I went from like 600 to 1,300, and I was just like, "Yeah, I did it, hell yeah!" And then it dipped to around 800, and now I've built it back up where my coin is, trading between $1,300 and $1,500 a coin, which is cool because, excuse me, for me, I never really intended on becoming an influencer. I more intended on using this as an investment tool, but one thing led to another, and now we are where we are. So I'm along for the ride with all of you.
So how do you feel? Like, what's that charge you get when you start investing? Like, do you ever FOMO into something, like a new person jumping on the platform and go, "Oh my God, I got to go jump up and go get in on that"?
Oh, absolutely. I think that all of us do. I mean, it's just so young right now that we're like, there's people you don't think about, and then you see that they're getting on the platform, and you just want to be the first one to get them because the bonding curve is
Yeah.
so absurd towards the beginning. And
So what? But
yeah.
how do you think that equates to, like, Bitcoin? We've seen Bitcoin. The consensus is always, it's not too late. And Bitcoin's in the $60,000 range now. And people say, because of we'll call it a bonding curve, as a similarity in the scarcity built into the two protocols. So take, for instance, somebody who comes in and they start their coin, or it started and it's at $100 and then it becomes $1,500. How is it different in that it could become $200,000 someday? When
I'm not
when as far as trying to get people, as far as people looking at it and going, "Oh, well, I've missed the boat." I find myself doing that, where I see, well, so and so looks exciting, but they're already
I
at
mean, listen.
$12,000, so I don't really want to jump in on that.
I completely hear you. I'm the dumbass. I don't know if I could say that on here, but I'm going to say
Oh,
it
hell
because
yeah.
I could go a lot worse than that. The dumbass that was offered to buy in on BitClout. My friend from college just reminded me. He told me about it when he got it for around $5 a coin. And I was young and in college, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't need that." Like,
Oh, you're talking about Bitcoin?
I'm talking about Bitcoin, and
Wow.
I mean, I'm, I was kicking myself because another friend told me to get in when it was at 400, and I said no. But my one buddy told me to get in when it was at around $4 to $10. So definitely, kicking myself in the face for that one. But, I think that is part of the reason why, like with BitClout, I'm like, all right, I see what this is up to, and I want to be the early adapter, because again, it goes back to whether it's BitClout or the next one, social token is the future in my mind.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. And same
So
with
I am now
the BitClout coin. I have a friend. He's like, yeah, I was in, a couple of weeks before you, and I got it at like $60, and my buddy got it at $5 or whatever. And so here we are at the $150 range. Do you think in a year or two we're going to be like, wow, remember back when we could buy it at $150? And now it's
possibly
100x
I
that,
think that when it does go full decentralized, I think that what we're going to see at first is the market's going to get volatile for a bit, right? I think that once the off ramp comes, I think that the core team is going to make it as hard as they can to take money out at first, because you're going to have all these impulsive people that got on the platform that are like, oh my God, I just made hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever it is. And they're going to want to take it all out. Well, at the same time, you're also going to have people going, okay, there's an off ramp now. Now I'm going to invest, right? So I think that time when the off ramp does come, I think that the market's going to get very volatile for a month or two, and then it will stabilize. I'm really curious. What do you think is going to happen?
I wish I knew. I really do. Obviously we all have optimism, or we wouldn't be devoting so much time to it. And, we're all in situations unique to our life, unique in the world, where we find, like for me, I'm like, okay, I've got some bandwidth I can devote to this, which is a struggle because you get excited and you want to devote more time. But, I don't know. Obviously that's kind of what keeps you in check. I'm not going to go liquidate everything and throw it into BitClout, but I am taking a lot of time and putting into it right now, because I think, it's a risk. It could fall apart, and I've wasted some time. Okay, well, move forward, live and learn. But this leads me to my next question though, is because of the off ramp, and we're seeing people developing off ramps, sort of secondary markets.
Shout out to Sigil and BitSwap.
Yeah, I've got Sigil. Sigil's on with us tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that.
Love him.
He's 17 years old. Holy crap! Look what
we call it. We call him Boy Wonder.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that interview as well. But talk about Sigil, and there's the P2P. I think more of a Bitcoin secondary. The other guy, I can't remember his name. We'll just skip that. But what I'm saying is do you think it's possible that they've built maybe the developers of BitClout have no intention of providing an off ramp, because they feel like,
I think that if you look
then
at
that gives other people does that kind of provide a gap in between them and the platform and the idea of it being a security? And it's like, okay, well, people are just buying these tokens and trading them. Whether they decide to take them and trade them out to the real world, so to speak, or not, is their own thing. We didn't do that.
I hear what you're saying. I think that there will be an off ramp. I think the core team is working hard on it. I think that we'll see it in the next 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but it just makes me wonder, because I tend to be in your camp on that one, but it makes me wonder.
I completely understand where that would come from, and I think that it's well warranted. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We're going to find out, aren't we?
One way or the other, it's going down.
Yeah. What did you do before all this?
I mean, I still do. I work in real estate. I work with celebrity and sports and entertainment clients, with Society Real Estate and Development. We're in LA, but we have connections all around the world. And then I'm a 10-year music industry vet. I've been really blessed to work with some behind the scenes with some of the most talented people in the world. I've worked with Machine Gun Kelly, Cruella, Zoo, Gallant, Ruby Rose, and I currently do a little work with Raphael Sadiq.
Wow, man. So what kind of work? Like on the creative side or management side or
Sort of
both?
management behind the scenes. Right before the pandemic, I was on tour 20. What year was it? Jesus Christ! 2020 January and February, literally right before the pandemic hit. I was on tour with Raphael, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You miss it?
Oh my God! I mean, I miss my bunk. I miss everything about it. It's just the
Yeah.
routine. It's great. It's great. And I mean, live music. There's nothing like live music.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I'm
I
excited.
was a touring musician for a long time, and it gets in your blood. You don't know how to spend the night in one place more than 3 nights in a row.
So you get what I'm talking about.
Oh, hell yeah. It's been a long time, but yeah, I know that feeling quite well. What about your, how have you been able to, I'll just put it frankly, are the people you worked with looking forward to joining BitClout or not? Like some of these
We'll have
stars.
we'll have to wait and see.
Ah, there's your answer, folks.
I gotta be real.
Yeah,
Oh crap! 1 second. 1 second. This is what happens when you're working as much as I am.
no
I
problem.
can't believe I got my phone down for 10 minutes. Yeah, I gotta hop on a call here even in a little bit.
Yay.
But
Well, this is a good place to wrap it up. I just, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know, like everybody else, you're super busy trying to make things out of this thing
and I
and
gotta
see where it can
acknowledge
take
you,
us.
for what you're doing here, for educating people, for having me on. It was an honor, honestly. And I had
Cool.
a
Thanks,
lot of
man.
fun on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it'll be really cool. I'd love to even see what your thoughts are. Maybe in a week or two doing another one. But what if we get
Let's
a
do it.
small group? What if we get a small group of people together? Is that
Yeah.
possible?
Hell yeah. Yeah. This platform we use is called StreamYard. We can do, I think, up to 20 people. And
Yeah,
I can even
let's.
do it kind of in a show format where, like, I could put lower thirds and all kinds of stuff in here and play media, kind of like a TD would do in the studio. But
I love it.
I just don't. Here's what my feeling is on this, and we've done this on other podcasts, but with this one, I like capturing you. I might want to
Mm,
cut some of these, sound bites together, video wise, into something if possible
yeah,
someday. I'm not sure. I have.
I
I went
trust
into
you.
this like most of us. We just kind of said this is something I'm going to jump on, and
Let's
for
see
me,
what happens.
it was a Thursday afternoon, and I was skeptical. By late that afternoon, I was signed up. By late the next afternoon, I had my first episode out.
Yep.
So in that 24 hours, I decided, yeah, I think I'm going to do a podcast. I had been thinking about doing my own anyway, and just serendipity crept in, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it about BitClout, not having an agenda of is this the thing or not. I look at it more of as a documentarian to go, hey, if it's a big flop, if it's Fire Island or something, I don't know. Well, let's watch it as it crashes and burns. I don't know, but I try to keep some unbiasedness to it if possible. But I'm like you, we get excited.
I hear it. I love it.
Yeah,
And
let's do it.
to
Let's do it, man.
upward and onward, man. Thank you so much for
Yep.
having me
Thank
today.
you, Michael. All right,
All
man.
right, we'll talk soon.
Later.